I've talked about Cleveland for much of my adult life. It's this fascinating city. The history of it, the way it operates, the things that it does right, the things it doesn't do right. It does not deserve the name Mistake by the Lake. That's not fair. There are so many other cities in the U.S. Let me just say, on my list of cities that deserve to be made fun of, I do not have Cleveland. And I could talk a lot about Cleveland, but what I want to talk about instead is a neighborhood far east of Cleveland that's not really even a neighborhood. My friends got married some years ago, and they had a nice ceremony, celebration right afterward, in a yard, lovely food, lovely company. And then people went back to the motel, and there was an after party at a Tudor mansion. Now, what I mean to say is it was a Tudor mansion because it was actually from Elizabethan England in the Tudor style. It had been shipped in the early part of the 20th century from England to Cleveland, or to this outlying portion of Cleveland. So when people talk about having a Tudor home, they usually mean they're in a Tudor style home or a mock Tudor home with the brown beams, which historians have this idea based on documentation that those were whitewashed. So this idea of having the contrast between white and brown on the house, that's actually not the Tudor style. The Tudor style would have been to whitewash the beams. So I've actually been in a Tudor mansion in the US, and the people who owned it were the parents of a guest at the wedding, and they were adding on easily twice the footprint of the house. And I remember asking the guy at the time why they were doing it, and he said, well, you know, they wanted a bigger kitchen, they wanted a laundry room. And I remember saying to him, but here you have this historic mansion that was shipped beam by beam from England. You have an actual Tudor home. I'm just worried your parents are going to go to hell for this.